Well,
Yeah, that's what your sisters.
yeah.
Hello everyone, this is James. Today I have two students with me. Usually I only interview one, but today I have two. There's a reason behind it. Okay, let's let them introduce themselves first.
Okay, my name is Stephanie Chidumebi Eric Okechi.
And my name is Naya Okechi.
Okichi is the
Last name. We're sisters.
sisters. Yeah, that's why. So we have been knowing each other for a while, right?
Yeah.
But for a long time, I didn't know they were sisters. The only thing I knew that in common, those two, they're both very tall. So we're sitting, you cannot tell, but I think Sophia taller than me even, right? Yeah. They're both very tall. Okay, so where are you guys from?
Well, we're from Enugu State in Nigeria.
Nigeria. Okay. How is Nigeria?
Well,
It depends on where you are.
Yeah.
So we grew up in the south of Nigeria.
Okay.
And it's very tropical. There's always rain. It's very dry.
Oh.
But if you go up north, it's very hot. So it gets to 70 degrees Celsius. That's almost boiling.
Wow.
Then you come down to the east and it's in between. So it depends on where you go.
Yeah, Nigeria is one of the biggest country in Africa, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So lots of oil there?
Lots of oil.
Yeah.
The state we're from has coal. So
Coal.
they call
Oh.
Coal City State.
Coal city states.
Oh, so there are lots of coal mines?
There's lots of coal mines, but there's no water because of the coal. So it's
Oh, I didn't know that.
you have one, you don't have the other.
Yeah. You have a door open, you have a window closed.
You can have your cake
yeah.
and eat it.
Yeah, you don't have
Coal
to
and eat it.
Yeah. So in the city, the coal city you guys are from, how is the weather? Like the pollution is bad or? Because I visited in China some cities with coal mine too. I remember it was so bad. If you sleep overnight, I feel there are lots of dust even in my nose.
Oh, wow. Well, we didn't really grow up in Enugu State since we grew up in the south.
Okay.
Enugu is in the east.
But I could tell you a little bit.
Okay.
I know it's red. So the soil there is red,
Yes.
if you remember. So compared to other cities, they have red soil every single place, no matter the type of soil. It's just red. I think it has to do with the coal over time since coal has been there since centuries.
Yeah.
So it just changed the way the soil looks.
Okay.
But it works the same way. That's just the one thing I remember. And they don't have water. Just because, and in order to get water, you have to dig
Very
really
deep.
Yeah. Unlike other places where water literally sprouts when you. So they don't have water, but they have coal.
Okay. So can you see blue sky there?
Yep.
Definitely.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's better than China.
You can't see blue sky in China.
Huh?
Really?
No,
Because of the
lots of big cities, especially those mine cities. All the sky is gray.
That's
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
There's actually a city like that in Nigeria called
Oh, yeah?
Port Harcourt.
Oh.
So we used to have these standing fans.
Mhm.
So if you look into the standing fan, there's suits in the fans.
Mm.
And then when people have catarrh or what's that thing called flu?
Flu,
So
okay.
when they sneeze, sometimes it's black because they've been breathing.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it
yes.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the city because that's where they take all the oil from other parts of the country
Mhm.
and refine it.
Mhm.
So the entire city is just black.
Yeah.
So even if you mop the floor, 2 minutes later it's
It's dirty again. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Yeah.
so the city
Sounds
is
familiar to me.
you would love Port Harcourt.
Okay, so sisters. Who's older? Who's younger?
Older.
younger,
Yeah.
like just a year.
Who is more outgoing? Who's more?
I would say she's at a glance, people think she's the most outgoing, but
Yeah.
I'm sort of the same way, but it just takes me a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. For my opinion, I feel like Sophie has been more quiet. Steph has been more loud. But today, so far, I feel like you're letting her to answer some questions.
Yeah, I'm just camera shy.
So don't feel shy, okay? Don't be scared of your sister, older sister.
No, not at all.
How many years apart?
One.
Just 1 year.
And
Yeah.
a few months, but yeah.
Okay. So do you have any other siblings?
We have 2 other siblings. I was like, he asked me, but I remember.
I was like, yeah, I exist. I'm just.
Good.
But yeah, we do have 2 siblings, a boy
And a girl.
and a girl.
They're
a
all
brother
young-
and a sister.
Or younger?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you guys are the oldest. Are they planning to come to Canada one day? Join you guys?
That's the goal.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
or less.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I will have more questions about your country later, but today's topic will be international student, right?
Okay,
Overseas. So who landed Canada first?
Oh, we landed at the same
Yeah.
time.
Oh, okay. I don't know those things. We didn't do any rehearse. I don't know. So you guys landed the same time.
Yep.
Same time, same day.
But you waited for her after high school or something?
I took a gap year where I was like learning other things
Mhm.
while she was finishing high school.
Okay.
So by the time she was done, we're both ready to like come to Canada.
Okay.
So
So in Nigeria before, when you guys grew up, you guys were in grade 2, grade 1. Is that the
Yeah,
truth?
exactly.
Okay, so only one grade
Yeah.
difference.
Yes.
So you just wait a little bit.
yeah.
Yes.
So now, how do you feel? In the same level with us, older sister now?
Well, I'm happy because I didn't have to like come alone, and we
Yeah.
got to like settle in together.
Yeah.
So it was really a big bonding like
Mhm.
level for us.
That's nice. So I want to introduce you guys, you girls, because this is very unique. Like I don't know a lot of students go aboard like as a siblings. This is very
Yeah.
unique. So is this your decision or your parents' decision?
It was like mutual.
Mutual?
Yes.
Because like the process was taking so long,
Mhm.
and rather than like just going alone,
Mm-hmm.
why couldn't I just wait for hers? And then we both went together. So in terms of like logistics and like housing, it just made more sense to
Yeah.
put all that energy into like taking 2 people
Mm-hmm.
than spending all that time like taking just one person and then spend the same amount of time taking the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely did support the decision because at the end of the day, like I was already 1 year ahead of high school.
Yeah.
So it didn't really affect like grades too much, things like that. So I graduated early,
Mm-hmm.
and even though I waited the year, I was still able to like make time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was also already
Yeah.
in her own year and just ready to join by the time everything was ready.
Yeah. So when you were the last year in high school, you knew you were going to go out with your sister.
Yes, I would have to say yes, because it was a slow, like there wasn't really an outward decision. Yeah, you're going with her, but there were processes in like that were pending. So
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I'm probably going to go with her.
Yeah. So I don't need to study in high school.
Not quite, but yeah.
Mhm. So do you both think academically, do you think you guys in the same level? Or who is better, stronger?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. We are in separate degrees.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not good at the courses she's good at.
Yeah.
And,
Of course.
Yeah.
We're all different. But in general, like when you grew up, does anyone sees like, oh, Sophie, you are a good student. Oh, Steph, you are not as good. Anyone say that?
well, she was definitely the more academically based sibling from like the
Oh, yeah.
on-go from. Do you want me to brag about you? Because I'm about to go on a whole rant. But she really did graduate top of her class.
Oh, really?
She was the school prefect.
Oh.
She was really, I really looked up to her. She was really like the go-getter, and I really tried to emulate her in everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh my goodness.
It was always like I was the older one. So
Uh-huh.
when we come here, people forget that I used to be like the older person.
Uh-huh.
But then we're in the same place. So you're like, oh, they're probably like on the same. But we grew up being in separate fields.
Mhm.
I tried my best to like lead by example, and she really liked that, which I
Yeah.
really appreciated.
Yeah.
So when we came here, it was not so much different.
Mhm.
Well, it was just like, oh, we're in the same year, but I don't think about it like that because she's really good at what she does.
Yes,
and
for
I'm good
sure.
at what I do.
Yeah.
And it's never like a collision of like anger, but more of like, oh, what can you help me with the skills you already know?
Yeah.
So she helps me like start,
Yeah.
and I help her like bio or
Mhm.
the other way
Okay.
around.
Yeah, that's
so
perfect. You guys perfect match. Okay. Good. So I don't remember. Those two are both on our college's student leader program. Were you guys same time on board with us or
Yes.
same term?
Same term, starting same term, we became like the student leader
Yeah, okay.
managers, and yeah.
Okay. One big memory I had in joining that training, I did a training with them, and then I remember staff were very good at public speaking.
Yes.
So that's the big thing. I remember that. And I remember Sophie was kind of quiet.
Very
Yeah.
quiet.
So personality, I think you guys are different some ways. But today, so far, I feel like I have a new knowledge of both of you. I don't think she's that laid back today.
No.
Oh, she's not.
I'm not laid back. I just tend to
Yeah.
be at first very laid back.
Yeah.
And then just
Observe
try to-
things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Takes time for her to warm up, but when she does, she's all bubbles.
Okay. Okay. So Canada, you guys choose this country together, or
Canada.
We had two options, I think. It was between like the US and like Canada.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We did apply to some. We even took the SATs. Everything was like on board, but like
Yeah.
in terms of other benefits of Canada, I feel like Canada just won the fight. And
so what's the benefit? Like how Canada won the bet?
So in terms of like living experience, right?
Yeah.
So if you come here, you have a tendency to have like on-campus housing and off-campus housing. But in the US, you only have to stay on campus. Like it's really hard sometimes to stay off campus in your first year. So they have that rule. And like on-campus housing is like twice as expensive as the tuition. So having two kids like in first year who can make decisions to stay in a cheaper off-campus housing, it's kind of hard because nobody wants that inflexibility when you're in a new country.
Yeah.
So when it comes to flexibility of like living experiences and like schools and like programs, I think Canada gets it. But when it comes to the US, there's a lot more rigidity in terms of like processes and admission.
Yeah. And tuition fee, US is way more expensive than Canada, right?
Yes, I would have to say US compared to Canada, and like the scholarships that you would get in Canada would be better than
Okay. Okay, so you guys kind of you have more options, but you finally Canada won the battle.
Yeah.
So far, how long have you been in Canada now?
1 year.
1 year
and
plus.
1 month.
Okay. 1 year and 1 month?
October isn't over yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, 1 year. So how do you like your decision?
So in terms of like the city, I think smaller cities are better for international students because big cities comes with like big city prices, big city expenses, but smaller cities kind of like balance like, oh, I get that this is a small city and there are students, so it's a lot more friendly when you're trying to like make your way in that place.
Yeah. And also less attractions. So
Concentrating
on your studying.
There's always a concert in like cities like Toronto and
there are attractions.
Yeah.
I feel like Winnipeg has its benefits too.
Yeah.
Please don't come for me.
Yeah.
But I really think if you did look for like activities that you could do as a group individually, I feel like you would definitely find something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Winnipeg is full of
beautiful parks, museums.
it's very active.
It's all
here.
good.
Yeah.
It's full of opportunities. And one thing I particularly like is that people underestimate it, which is the trick international students should like take advantage of. So people come here and they're like, oh, it's not Toronto, so I don't really like it, not knowing that that's the whole point. Everybody in Toronto, like you have at least 10,000 people or like 1,000 people doing the same thing, trying to get the same opportunity.
Yeah, you're fighting for it.
Yeah, everyone's fighting. But here people don't even care. Or they don't even like the city. So it's like you could get the most amazing opportunity just by saying, oh, can I have it? And I feel like no one asked.
Yeah.
You get it.
I agree with that. In Manitoba, in Winnipeg, it's like people are not that fightful, right? People are we're very politically, we're very left, we're very laid back. We're just like, it's okay. It's good.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
So you just need like a brink of energy, and I'm like, oh, here you go.
Like you can have it.
I'm like, wait, how? It happens even in schools. Of course, school has a step higher of like competition.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it's still the same thing.
But you're competing to yourself in school. You're not trying to beat other people, but you're not fighting for any big opportunity for your life. So at this point,
mostly personal projects, trying to build your like digital presence in your portfolio and just get where you can get started.
You can wear your glasses. Looks like a superstar, yeah?
Yes.
I feel learned.
Okay, so first experience of snow, tell me. Because you guys are from Nigeria, that's why I have to ask. Last winter must be your first time seeing snow, right?
Definitely.
But I thought they said last winter wasn't winter.
Yeah, people were like, it wasn't even that cold, that it was only minus 36. Only minus 36.
You don't use only and minus 36.
Oh my
in the
god.
same
They were like,
sentence.
like in 2013, it reached like minus 50. I was like, well, thank God it's not 2013.
Exactly. Like they keep recounting all these stories about like how it used to get to their knees. I'm like, well, it's not there.
Like, let it stay below the ankle.
Like, are you trying to like bring it?
Yeah. So overall, how did you feel about winter?
I was very warm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it melted at some point.
Yeah, and then started snowing again.
Mhm.
Well, our
But-
mom was on us to have like.
But it was
winter
not like
clothing and everything.
unlivable, right?
No,
No,
it was
okay.
decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, cover the right layers and you're
The
good.
moment you start dressing well and find activities, like winter goes by so fast.
Mm.
So I recommend like just taking advantage of it. You'll probably be in school if you're an international student.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
But like if you find like at least one other activity that you really like, then
Yeah.
you go by fast.
Yeah. So you guys live together in a house or apartment?
Apartments.
How many bedrooms?
We have 3. So
Oh, 3 bedrooms. Oh, okay.
So you have a roommate.
you have a roommate.
Roommate,
Oh,
yes.
why just not you two?
It used to be.
Okay.
It used to be.
Then
we moved.
Yeah.
And like the only other option, because 2 rooms are like the less rooms you have,
Mhm.
sometimes it gets more expensive.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
And it's surprising that they had 3 rooms and it was sort of affordable instead of like two rooms and 3 people.
Mhm.
So in essence, like reducing the cost and each person gets their room
Yeah, yeah.
is still a
Yeah.
price that
Okay.
I would gladly pay.
So who is their roommate? A student too, or
Yeah, she's a
Yeah,
student.
actually here too.
oh yeah.
She's about to graduate.
Okay, is she also from Nigeria?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a jackpot.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, jackpot.
Okay, so who's the chef in the apartment?
She is.
The chef. Okay, so you two both of that.
I cook better than her. Like that, I will say.
Why?
And she'll gladly agree.
Well, it's that I. It's
You have to agree, otherwise she won't cook for you.
Yes, I agree.
She has to agree.
Well, it's not my fault.
I
feel like
it's not any.
It was the egg's fault. Like, why does egg burn? Like, egg shouldn't burn.
Boil an egg. She has to ask me every single time. Like,
Was it 10 minutes or
How do you-
25?
and she's really good. She's a really good comp sci major that can boil an egg.
Okay.
Make the distinction.
Well, I should be able to code how to boil an egg.
Well,
With,
you should figure out maybe like a program or something that stores recipes.
Yes, I should.
Okay, so later we'll come back to the cooking to life part. Now let's go into academic, a little serious.
Okay.
So ask you first, okay?
What major I'm in? Or
No. you want to make the questions? No, I'm asking, how do you think about Canadian education system compared to back home, Nigeria? I know you never been to Nigeria university, but I mean, in terms of the teachers, are they friendly in Nigeria? I don't know about your country, right? So do you think here is more tough or easy or no pressure? Like,
Well,
Mhm.
I would be comparing like the Nigerian like high school to
Mhm.
like the Canadian university.
no, they think this way, but I mean, teachers are teachers, right?
Oh, okay.
Like in classroom, how teachers teach you, like, I know high school and professor will be different, but overall, I think because I worked in both areas, I think they're pretty similar in lots of ways.
Mm.
For example, when I got here, I recognize that in China, teachers are pretty serious. Most of teachers.
Okay.
Here, teachers like to joke around,
Oh,
make
yes.
fun. In China, most of the teachers nobody has tattoos, long hair. No, here is like
Oh,
very, like,
Diverse.
yeah,
I would-
diverse. So
I would have to second that.
Mhm.
And also the introduction of labs. We
Mhm.
never really had labs back home. Like
Oh.
labs where you
Like salt
like
bath.
like practice the material that you
Mhm.
did in the lecture. You now have a separate section to actually practice the material that you did.
really,
Before,
so,
yeah,
so
I think that's
in
new.
Nigeria high school class for science, you guys don't do any.
Like you had to like do the lecture and then do the practice material like at the same time. Like it was
Oh.
simultaneous. Like they would stop mid class and give you some exercises to solve and then continue teaching. Then give
Okay.
you. But now it's like two separate things.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the
But
same
we,
for.
we still did have like biological labs, but those were the ones that were
Yeah.
mandatory.
Mhm.
But when it came to like problem sets, like how do you
Like
have
math
math
and
labs,
comp
comp labs,
Mhm.
That was entirely
microbiome
different.
labs, things like that. It's more of that's your job.
Okay.
So there's a lot of that's your job.
Mhm.
Like I'm not going to go the extra mile to like give you more room to practice.
Mhm.
And that looking back, like that should have not like they should include it because it's a really good way to get used to the material
Mhm.
before any exam.
Okay.
And then I went to a sort of university thing for a bit. It's called sixth form.
Okay.
And I would say the teachers there were different because they all had to follow strict rules.
Okay.
Nigeria is very like what's it called? Very what's the word? It's very not conventional, but like old school.
Yeah.
Old school. Okay,
Oh,
old school.
yeah.
Okay, old fashioned.
So
Okay.
yeah, very old fashioned. So
Mhm.
you have strict teachers.
Yeah.
You have to call them by like a whole list of titles, Mister, this
Mhm.
one, and then that's been ingrained in my mind. And then coming here, and I'm trying to like type an email, and I type the email, and the professor puts like a first name, and I meet the professor in person, and it's like, oh, I'm Gary, or oh, I'm Matthew, things like that.
yeah.
And it's like, I can't do that. I'm not wired to call you.
Yeah. That's one thing.
Yeah.
It reminds me. People here just call names, right? That's why I told students that call me James or whatever you like to call me. Like I don't care. That's what I learned. But when I was here, I still call my mother-in-law mom.
Oh.
I don't call her name.
Yes.
Or my father-in-law. I still call him dad.
Not
Yeah,
like
you're
first
supposed to do
name
that.
basis.
Yeah, I don't
You're supposed
call-
to do that, like
Yeah.
but here I've seen like people call their own parents like Mel's or something. I'm like,
Right, you wouldn't even know
Yeah.
they're talking
I
about
would-
their parents.
like it makes me want to short circuit. I'm like,
Yeah. Okay, so it's kind of different. So do you think you guys feel, okay, you answer first. Do you think you adapted this new system pretty well? Academically in school, yes?
I would have to say yes. Though it took like the entire semester, but by winter I was pretty much like settled.
Mhm.
And that's what I was like, okay, I'm settled now. What else can I do? And that's why I applied for like student
Okay,
leadership. So
yeah.
I would say in terms of how fast I settled in, I would say having family also really helped.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a smooth process.
How about you?
yeah, I feel the same way because our mom was here for like the first bits,
Mm-hmm.
so the first few months, trying to like get her settled in and like help us out, teach us how to like do cook, find places to find clothes, things
Mhm.
like that. And then she left, and then it was now up to us to like continue.
Mm-hmm.
But we're together now, so it was like we still had that kind of emotional support from each other.
Yeah.
And overall, it's not been like an easy process, but then the results, the outcomes, we've had good moments, and
Yeah.
I feel like the good moments really do outweigh like the bad times just
Mhm.
because they are good.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would
Okay.
encourage families to come at least.
Together.
Yeah.
yeah.
The space is not the best. For
Yeah. So usually I ask students before that if you have any homesick, did you cry when you call your parents? But for you guys, I think maybe probably not having those problems.
Well, I think it should be a universal problem for international
Or
students.
still, you guys were homesick in the beginning?
Homesick.
Even though you guys together every day?
Yeah.
You're not alone.
No.
Yeah, but like
our two siblings.
we have
our
two
little
siblings and we have a kind of slightly bigger family, so we
Mhm.
have like a lot of closer
Mhm.
like relatives.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Do you guys cry together, hold each other?
She's not a hugger.
Is hugging a Nigerian culture or no?
It's a Nigerian culture, but I always grew up no like
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just not.
She had a signature side hug.
Oh, okay.
If you got the full hug, you were winning.
Oh, only for special occasions.
yes, like Christmas.
Oh, okay. Hey, Nigeria, you guys allowed to do the cane, right? Punishment.
Yes. But
yeah, that's another thing. Like
yeah.
you could get beaten.
Yeah, in school.
Yep.
Yes, in school. But well, our school was
They stopped halfway.
Okay. I think
Because I feel like there was a lot of Western influence in our school.
Yeah,
I would have to
particularly.
say that.
Quite a lot of my viewers, they're from Singapore. Singapore is very famous for their
Cane.
law, the cane. Yeah. So if only for men,
Oh.
if you do something heavy crime
They
thing.
would flog you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that same?
I would have to say yes for like maybe prisoners. But wait,
But even in school, you guys.
but for school,
still could have that.
Western, after like I think I entered like the higher like
Mhm.
year 10,
Mhm.
I feel like they were more laid back and didn't
Of course,
really
this is only for little kids. When you are grade 10, grade 11.
Plus, like a lot of parents started like getting this whole mindset that
Mhm.
times have changed, flogging is not right.
yes.
So they would literally come to school to like insult the teacher that flogged their
Oh.
child when the child obviously did something really bad. So it became such a thing, like
So parents will go to school
and like disrespect the teacher on the grounds that
if the teacher did something to the kid.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Well, if the kid did something really, really
No,
bad.
I mean, I encourage people to speak up. If as a parent, if some teacher punished my kid in a way that I don't
Oh.
appreciate, I would like to go to school and
True,
talk with
true.
the teacher, right?
Yeah.
It depends on the line.
Depends.
Yeah.
But there should be some form of punishment. Maybe not being publicly beaten.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So it's in public, Peter?
Well, like an assembly kind of for like
Oh.
the bad kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've seen like I remember the time where they like lined up a bunch of seniors and like flogged each of them.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's supposed to be like a public shaming thing. So
Yeah.
there's shame plus
Oh,
like
I don't like this
beating.
part. I don't like this
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Even though you do that, it should not be in public.
It's in
I don't.
Right.
It's
yeah.
part of the whole Nigerian process where they
Oh, wow.
like sometimes like when you do something they would have to like shame you in public. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
like public shaming.
So there's some trauma inside of you guys because you guys see those things.
Oh.
Maybe.
Well,
Guys,
actually,
you may not know now, but
maybe
somewhere
at
in
some
our heart.
point in our heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
because we were little, you see those things.
Oh yeah, and then you would be more like uptight
Yeah,
around those
yeah.
specific teachers.
Yeah, in movies, those are PG-13.
I remember one time, do you remember this one time when this guy stole and they literally paraded him around the entire city?
Oh,
So now that you say it, like I actually have witnessed
Yes.
a lot of public shaming.
Public
Wow.
shaming.
So it's a cultural thing just because they want everyone in the community to know that that person did that thing
Mhm.
and they would want to like humiliate the person.
Yeah.
My parents never really liked it because they felt like all those people doing it were hypocrites.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
they probably have done the same thing but just wearing caught.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
sometimes they even want to go as far as like putting a tire on the person and burning the person for what? Stealing a loaf of bread in a country that is really hard.
Yeah. I know. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't at
Mm.
all.
But there's something I would like to add on that. Even though it's a cultural thing, it doesn't mean it's a right thing,
Yeah.
No,
right?
not at all.
I think we all need to keep in mind that we need to get better. Some bad culture, we should
To
Yeah.
decide.
dump it in the garbage, and then we should improve ourselves,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So where were we?
Oh yeah. And it's
Oh, yeah.
called jungle justice.
Jungle justice. Yes.
This is
Yes.
jungle rules. Yeah.
I feel like more parents are becoming more Western.
Yeah.
So they don't really beat their children anymore.
Yeah.
And they don't encourage schools to.
Yeah, like
so-
I was
yeah.
proudly, I made a video before. I'm saying like I think so far I'm the only one in my circle, in my Chinese friend circle, not my Western friend. I'm the only one who never really hit my kid.
Wow.
I think I'm the only one. I know all my friends, more or less, they all have a little bit physical punishment, a little bit. I think I'm the only one
It doesn't.
so far.
So far.
I yelled at my kids for sure. Like
It's
Yeah.
maybe testing
Testing
you.
your patience.
I feel bad. I apologize to you, but I haven't really beat them.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not happened. Hopefully not going to happen.
We're setting a good example for like more old school parents.
Mhm.
Like even normalizing apologizing to your kids. I
Mhm.
feel like that's something that parents should start doing. Our parents started doing it. So I feel like it's really more natural. Like
Yeah.
parents mess up, kids mess up. But
Yeah.
you can always apologize and move on.
So talking about the Western influence you guys were talking about, so I don't know how much in your country, but once you got here in Canada, do you feel like there are lots of culture shock there? Or you feel like, because your language is pretty good, so do you feel it's okay, it's different, but it's acceptable?
Acceptable. Culture shock. For one, it was definitely the first name basis. I feel like that was the first
Of course, it
culture
will be
one.
different, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. Maybe.
Maybe and like the nuances behind like Canadian, like how they form social relationships, because a lot of them, like I didn't come in high school, so a lot of relationships had formed with people my age.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
So coming just joining into that social place via university, it was really kind of hard to like navigate how they think, how they realize this person is their friend, or like how they tend to like connect people. So even in labs, I tend to still see that like social that cultural difference playing, because the same way they think about an assignment, it comes in handy. It creates good results if everyone is respectful.
Yeah.
But sometimes that cultural difference kind of makes users like disrespect and like trying to like be rude or just very nasty to someone else.
Yeah.
So I feel like that the way they do it is very subtle, that you almost don't notice it, and then you think like, oh, maybe I'm just hallucinating, but it's really a thing. And it's because it's a lived experience. I can't categorize it into one small box, because there's multiple things that happen in your daily life, in the store, in school, and you're like, what is this? So just trying to understand like the social dynamics of how they talk, what they say is it's a process. So that in Nigeria it's different, because everyone's around the same culture, you know the same thing. Use the same words, you know the same like pop media and things like that. But come here and like there's that break,
that line.
As far as there's respect, there's time to like build on that. But when people size in that as something to like be disrespectful, then it just spoils the whole thing.
So so sounds like you guys had a pretty smooth transition from Nigeria to here, and then in general, you guys any challenge so far in the past year?
Personally, I would say no.
Okay, that's
Or
good.
maybe I was just like, I don't know, I really do if something bad happens, I should move on and try to do something better. I don't know. So I really don't dwell on like bad moments. I don't really remember most of them. But the good ones definitely outweigh the bad ones, I think. So I would say more of a smooth transition personally. I don't know.
Mine would be the same, but then I had like a bad experience when it came to like employment. Not because I didn't get a job, but because the job was like very toxic.
The working environment.
Yeah. So they still take advantage of people like employment wise in a Western country. And that was something I didn't like foresee, because we all have this idea that the Western world is like perfect. So I would say like an advice, like something I've learned is that nowhere is perfect.
Exactly.
The same bad things that happen in all these other countries that Canada claims to be like underdeveloped is happening right in their faces here. So just having that notion that, oh, nothing can happen like that here, just kind of blocked my eyes from seeing it on time. So I did have a little bit of a bad experience, and like, but I stood up for myself and I walked away from the place. But there are probably some people who are going to fall into that same trap. And
if people don't have a choice, they just choose to stay there.
That's the thing. And because in other countries you might have those bad things, but maybe not the liberty or like the freedom to stand up for your rights. But here there's a bit of balance in terms of like, okay, there are institutions in place to like help you know your rights, and you can actually reach out to them for help, that, oh, this is what's going on, because that's what I did. And when I reached out and they were like, oh, that's wrong, and I read about the Manitoba, I read the entire Manitoba Employment Standards book, because I was like, I need to know my stuff. So I read the entire thing back to back, and I was like, damn, I'm being taken advantage of. So I just did my whole thing and walked away.
This is very important. Hey, guys, students, listen to this. In the future, if you go overseas, doesn't matter which country you go, it's a new environment. You need to read those things. Like Sophie spent time to read but this improved my work. In the future, I will tell my students that, okay, you guys, we had a leader before who read the whole thing. So sometimes reading those documents are important. I think it's very important. So do your research.
Take advantage of the resources available.
Yeah, exactly. Do you both work?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Where do you work? Can you talk?
I work in the frozen yogurt bar.
Frozen yogurt. Okay. I remember you told me before you had a TV store. Now it's frozen yogurt.
I worked in the other one.
Okay.
And then, I actually changed jobs a lot, which is But that's just another story for another day.
How about you?
I work at a painting pottery place, Crocodile. They paint pottery. But yeah.
Yes. You should tell me that. We can do some events.
I told
I told my girl.
Yeah.
They actually have an event with the science. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't.
It's something with the Faculty of Science, and it's in partnership with Crocodile. So it's called painting to make a difference.
Okay.
Ooh.
They've been promoting it all day. I thought
I know now. Because I was like, what is that shiny board outside? Or I now know it's like a cause. They will donate 10% to charity every time someone buys pottery.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, do you guys enjoy the work here?
Yes, I would say yes. People don't believe that I got the job on Indeed because Indeed is a very
saturated.
Yeah, it's like really content.
I've never got anything. I have no luck on that. On those.
Indeed.
She applied and they called her. Like, who calls who on Indeed?
Okay.
So I've been there since like last year, November, I think.
Oh, wow. So you've been there for a long time?
Yes.
So both of you, do you guys choose to work because you need money or you want more experience, build your network?
I would say
both. Yeah, money is important.
Money is very important.
What do your parents tell you? Usually Chinese parents would tell the kids, don't work, do your study. Everything we pay.
Yes. That was their first initial like go-to. But then you also have needs outside of what your parents could provide. Like maybe you wanted to go out with friends or something more personal.
Yeah.
You would need money and you wouldn't want to ask them. I don't know. Maybe it's like
it's okay. Personal thing. Maybe it's you. Maybe something. Yeah.
But they also really encouraged it. They weren't really like adamant at it.
But it was more like if it starts affecting your school, stop.
Yeah.
Okay. But, so your parents give you guys a fixed amount every month? No?
Well, they do pay for like our school.
Yeah, they pay a lot already. Yeah. So you also want to support them.
Yeah. And they pay the rent. So we take care of the other things like groceries, textbooks, like any other thing that's not like living expenses and school.
Yeah.
So basically your parents pay for your tuition fee, your living, basically like the renting, and then you guys just take care of all the rest. The extra, all the extra you guys take care of. Okay.
Just bills and
how many hours you work?
I work average 20.
20? Okay.
Yes.
So based under the
they increased it now. It's 24, but I think 20 is like good, personally speaking.
Yeah, same thing.
About 10.
Oh, you work less. Okay, that's good. So, do you feel between work and then study, you need a better balance, or right now the balance is pretty good?
I think I can handle one more, like an extra job, just because I've done it in the past.
Okay.
So. Yeah, like, and another thing you can do that I do is that maybe try to divide your day in half. So I usually put all my classes very early in the morning. Like, I complain about 8 a.m. classes, but I always take 8 a.m. classes because I would rather finish my classes by like 12, 2, and then work from like 3 to till like 9, which is when most shifts end. So, or you do it the opposite way where you leave your morning free and then go to school in the
afternoon. Yeah, in the evening. Yeah, okay.
It's not the like you don't get to decide your schedule.
Yeah, of course.
Of like courses. But if you're intentional and then you kind of like choose, it gives you more time to like work and school and then like time again to study a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So, how many hours do you guys sleep?
I'm good with 5.
5 is enough?
I would have to say 6 on average because of like because I wake up late. My classes are in the afternoon.
Yeah, so you wake up early. I was listening to her story. She says she goes to very early class.
Yes.
Like, when I was your age, I couldn't wake up that early.
I actually couldn't wake up last year to my alarms. And then suddenly, I wake up at the same time every single day without my alarm.
And your body just got it. Yeah.
I was telling her, like, I wake up at 7:34. Like, no alarm. Not 7:30, not 7, not 8 o'clock, 7:34.
Yeah, that's your body,
so 4 minutes after.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you are still leader. You're volunteering in college. You are studying. You have a work. Anyone having any boyfriend, anything, relationship?
Oh, no.
No, not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so I'm saying, in the future, if you have a relationship, you'll be very busy. So far, 0 to 10. how busy you are.
I would have to say 10.
You're already busy now?
Yeah,
I appreciate you giving me some time to record.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have a midterm like 2 hours after this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
I
have
wish you
class.
guys the best.
Thank you.
You will nail it. Ace it. Yeah.
If you jinx me, I'll come back.
We'll hack his phone.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
This is the video.
This is the video.
Okay. Okay. I didn't expect this video to go this long, but I feel like we have analysts. I'm gonna interview you guys again later.
Oh,
For sure.
okay.
So okay, before we finish, I want you guys tell, maybe together or each, give me some good story. One good story. Like you've been here for a year. What's the funniest or embarrassing or whatever? Give me a funny story to tell the audience.
Please start that and really go for it.
When we were moving,
Yeah, you were moving.
we were
okay?
moving from like our old apartment to this new.
Uh-huh.
We were selling like the stuff we didn't need.
You were selling.
Yeah,
Where?
we were on
Online?
Facebook
Marketplace.
Okay, yeah,
Marketplace.
I buy a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had everything set up. I took a picture of the bed, and then I was the one selling it. So I put the price. That was like an IKEA bed I bought like last year.
Yeah.
With the frame
And the mattress. Oh, if you know how expensive
And-
mattresses are.
It was a smaller mattress, but I put it at $60, and she did not know.
Yes.
Was it 60 or 70?
60?
Jesus.
Mhm.
I put it at $60, but we bought the bed and the frame for
Like twice the price.
200 and something.
Yes.
So I wanted to get rid of the bed. So I did not think about the price. So when I put it, I had like 15 people. Like there was literally someone in our apartment building upstairs that saw the posting and came downstairs to grab the bed. And I didn't know what was happening. And by the time she sent the money quickly out, and then my sister was
I was
trying
like,
to,
okay, like, is it only the frame you're taking? Like, for that price?
Uh-huh.
But no, it wasn't.
So by the time I knew what was happening, they had carried the bed and everything. And then I kept on thinking.
Oh,
and
they
I-
took that away.
Yep.
For
Then-
60.
Then I went back. I was like, no. After it was late in the night, like 2 hours later, and I went back. I told her that we need to go and get that bed back.
Like,
Did you?
We went to ask them. I was like, I'm going to return your money. I need my bed back because I knew where her room was. She knew where her room was. So
I was like 60 for something of 200.
So the person
was nice enough to
To
give
return
it
the
back
bed
and
back.
we give them back their money.
Yup.
And then we
Oh
sold
my
it for a higher price after
Yeah,
because like my heart.
But that was crazy.
Oh, that was an interesting story. So you guys could ask the person, we made it wrong, we made a mistake.
Yes.
But if you want it, you can take it for 120.
Yes, that's what we said, but they were like, no, that we wanted it at that price.
Oh,
so
okay.
it was kind of
that was not even a steal. That was pure robbery.
Okay. So you have to learn this thing before you buy or sell. Do a little bit of research,
Yes.
right? Okay. Last thing, give some advice to the future international student.
Me?
Yeah,
sure.
Okay.
You go first.
So, I would have to say, yes, people do have their already made social circles here in Canada, but there's a way that you can break through it. One would be by actually going to events. It doesn't have to be like social parties and all that, but it could also be as simple as volunteering.
Yeah.
Because volunteering was how I really settled in from the onset. Because in fall, before I started student leadership, I had really put my mind into contributing to the community. So I was volunteering as much as I could. I took, how do I say this? I grabbed all the opportunities
Yeah.
that I could on the start, and then it really just helped. So really putting yourself out there in events and really taking advantage of all the resources available will be
Yeah.
helpful.
Don't close yourself.
Yes, and ask questions because the opportunities only present yourself when you go looking for them. So
And then ask the right questions. I find that a lot of international students are used to people doing things for them. So it might not be, they don't know it's happening, but it happens. So you come from a place where there are people that do everything. There's like cobblers, there are hairdressers, there are like painters. Like there's someone that can do something for you at a very small price. But here is the entire opposite, that simple things cost the most money to get done.
Yeah.
So they value like laborers and wages. So if you get something spoiled, you have to do it yourself, or you're going to spend an arm and a leg. So that also translates into like your dealings. So if you come here and then you want something, people can't do it for you. And if you ask questions in such a way that you're expecting someone to like hold your hand and like take you somewhere and do it for you. Like they're not going to give you a physical answer. So instead of asking questions like a newcomer, ask questions like someone who wants to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So you come into a place, instead of asking, can you do this for me? How do I do it?
Yeah.
So changing your approach from like do it to like learning and like finding how you can do it for yourself. Because here it's just you and what you're able to make of what's around you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, good. Thank you. Okay, at the very end. So
Okay.
really, this is the end. It's very long. This video. This is my longest video ever.
Wow.
45 minutes already. Okay, so use your mother tongue, your own language, your ethnic language. If you have, say something to us. Father, mother, brother, sister, friends back home. Let me watch this video.
Unless you want to do it in French.
in the YouTube, they will. It means like YouTube people, like
Sure. You don't have to try this. It's okay, just say it. Yeah.
and then what do you say by in pidgin?
Wait, why did you put me on the spot? Wait,
I don't think there's a word for buy. I think it's
I don't think there's a word for buy.
but it's like you don't finish. Yes, you don't finish. Thank you. Make una rest. Make una comment, subscribe.
Nice.
Do you want to say something?
I would have to say it in French.
Sure, can you say French? You speak French?
Yes, a little.
Oh, okay, say it French.
Tout le monde, bonjour, merci. What else can I say?
C'est fini. C'est la fin de la vidéo.
Okay.
Subscribe.
I have to say it is
Abonnez,
okay.
abonnez, commentez.
I have to say this is the most fun thing to do I have done so far. I've done a lot, but this is very fun. And I don't know why. Time goes so fast. I feel like there's so many questions I wanted to ask, didn't get to ask because
You can write them down.
We'll text you.
it's okay. We do it again. I love students from Africa. I love African culture. I think a lot of you guys are very open, very happy. We have a lot of laugh together. Yeah. Anyway.
That's actually true,
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
So our culture is very comedic
Yeah.
Yes.
centered.
Yeah.
So
I used to play with a Congo band, a band from Congo. I went to their house. The mommy cooked lots of food, and then we used finger to eat spicy
Yeah.
food. Like,
yes.
we laughed together. Like,
It's just
I-
very warm and inviting.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, we have to stop.
Oh.
Okay, say bye.
bye.